Let me get the rest of these candles out the way. Because we had this really strong closure under the last zone, it's making it look very bearish. Okay, so this is giving me a little bit of indication this thing's going to continue to trend. This wick right here where it rejected, okay, so we had this long Marimozu candle close under the previous trend. Then we had a long wick rejection where that trend is. So it shows that selling momentum is really strong here. Okay, when price came back up, trying to recover, sellers brought it back down. So maybe sellers are letting price recover a little bit, let some accumulation happen before they liquidate the rest of their trade. Okay, markets don't move in a straight line. If it wants to go up, it's got to retrace first, deep retracement. Okay, so same thing here. We'll see a retracement and continuation down. So this trade is still active. Okay, this the one did not hit. We haven't put stop loss and break even for this. So it's probably hovering around our entry right now. 107.85 was our entry. So we'll see how this one plays out.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So to continue, lower high, lower low, my man Anish.
Oh, man.
Okay, so essentially going on to, this is one pair that we were looking to execute on. It did break out of this trend line, but it's kind of just chilling right now. I want to hold off on this. Going on to, so you should be able to see your edge, your setup within the first couple of seconds by looking at the chart. All right, there's no need to take multiple hours just by staring at colors. All right. So essentially, just looking at this, I see inverted head and shoulders. Okay, we finally broke the strong zone. Okay, just by looking at the weekly. It's a well-respected zone. Strong weekly close above. And we are definitely looking for some continuation just by looking at the wicks on this. So you see some indecision, and TPs would just be looking at past price action. Okay, where these huge reversals were. Okay, so just by going on a higher time frame, you guys, okay, you have to be able to read the story the market is telling you, and by doing so, it's by I always like to say, the market's like a book. Okay, so the book, in order to read that book, you need to be able to read the pages, the paragraphs, the sentences, the words, and the individual letters that all make up the story. Okay, so the monthly would be the pages, the weekly would be the paragraphs, the daily would be the sentences, the 4 hour would be the words, and the individual candlesticks would be the letters. And all together, you guys should be able to read what the market is telling you. Okay, and it's not about making money; it's about executing. Because if you execute your trades, money will come after that. Okay, so Euro USD. I'm gonna go ahead and. My man, a question about cryptos.
I see.
My man Jay.
Wait, I have to go to the weekly to show you guys exactly what's happening here. I'm not sure. All right. Well, let me show you guys what's happening here. This is the weekly chart for Bitcoin. All right. This is where we were 2017. So this is the 20,000 mark, the all-time high. This is where we were at the beginning of this year. Okay. You guys see this bullish climb? This is one of the most aggressive climbs that Bitcoin has ever seen. Almost as aggressive as the last one. Maybe probably a little bit more aggressive at the beginning than the last one. All right. You guys see this rejection candle? If I draw a fib, guess where it lands?
Sheesh.
618 rejection. So this is nothing more than a retest. It's going to retest down. Find a zone down here, maybe the last top where the moving average is here, and then make a continuation. All right, I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin. As the economy starts to worsen, the economy starts to slow down. That's why gold is starting to see a bit of strength. Bitcoin's going to start to see the same thing. Institutions, not major institutions, but institutions that have a lot of money, like hedge funds and stuff like that, and asset management firms, they might take a small percentage of their total assets and put it into Bitcoin, so they can take advantage of the market because it's going to shift way more heavily into the Bitcoin side as major banks get into it. So things like JP Morgan is opening a coin desk and they're using XRapid, which is Ripple. So they're using Ripple technology in more part of their mainframe. They're going to be moving billions of dollars worth of money using Ripple. So they're going to be making exchange fees based on that. So that's just going to make Ripple's actual volume increase because the amount of money that's being bought and sold with Ripple is going to skyrocket. So the total asset class. But we'll go Bitcoin and I'll show you guys XRP, USD. You want to take XRP?
Yeah, gotcha.
Ugly. This channel, it's time to buy. Oh. It looks like it's time to buy this one. Sheesh, I'm trying to buy some Ripple.
Awesome. So going on to some pound pairs, gonna go on GA. So by looking at this pair, you guys can see we had a well-respected zone, this yellow zone that was just well-respected in the past. A lot of wick rejection in this area. And you guys can see we did have a strong daily close that finally broke these last two swing lows. Okay, you guys can see we had an impulse flag, impulse, potential flag, continuation. It was a break or bounce, and the break has definitely played out. And zooming in, you guys can see the MA's crossed, scaling down to a 4-hour, potentially get a retest over here. And if you guys can see, we do have some wick rejection right over here that just looks beautiful for an entry. Okay, so just gonna hold off on this. GA, GJ. GJ, I was really looking to catch a buy on it simply because it did break out of my downward trend line, and it looks like it is forming that inverted head and shoulder. Okay, I want to wait for price to clear these highs first before getting in on a retest. Okay, so break retest 61, fib, keeping it simple. That's my strategy. Every time I see that strategy, I'm going to pull the trigger without hesitation. Okay, so if you guys know your edge, take the trade. Really, there's nothing to be contemplating. All right, so GU, we called a buy on this simply by looking at the break of this channel. It broke this channel, retested, and broke back in, and essentially zooming in on a 1-hour. Okay, we actually called a buy over here. It broke up and actually came back above, broke above this yellow zone, and I believe price was not moving at all today due to the news events. You know, a lot of uncertainty, and again, that goes back to knowing the market. You guys got to know what the market is and what's going on at all times to take advantage and reap the benefits. All right. So price came up, and essentially we moved our price to break even and just came back and tapped us in break even. All right. Other than that, I want to keep the call short and sweet. Or do you have any calls or any other pairs you want to take a look at?
No, I can wrap it up.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man. All right. I appreciate all of you guys for joining us. Jeff, I appreciate you for being on this call. It's nice
my man Jeff, special appearance.
I'm talking about everybody from Chart Addicts. Brian, Bianca, I appreciate you guys for being on there. Anish, Rob, it's nice to see you, my man. All right, so all of you guys, I appreciate you guys being on. Take a few of these trades and actually go use them, guys. So now that you have our bias, hopefully maybe you guys took a screenshot or two. Hey, go look at them and draw it up yourself and see if you see the same thing. All right, what's the most important thing about the market, the thing that's going to save you months of learning, way more than any course would, is to actually draw up a chart, see what happens, and then figure out what happens from there. Like, okay, this strategy just doesn't work. Or, okay, yo, these have been working. Every time I draw this up, I come back and it just hits every time. I should just take these every time. That's really the proper mindset. The next step to that obviously is, okay, how much money do I risk and how much money can I make? That's part of your risk money making strategy. This is like a little bit more advanced stuff that we teach. But the very basics of it is draw up a chart, see what happens, and learn every day, guys, especially on our calls. We do a lot of education. Professor O, killing it, guys. He gives you guys little details. Where it broke above, what kind of candle it broke above it. Okay, did it break below or under a key zone? Why was it bearish or why was it bullish? It's really good information. So take this stuff in when we see the charts. Try to go home and see your own charts and then take those trades.
Yeah, and definitely set us some setups. We'll be happy to look them over. But again, appreciate everyone hopping on this call. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Chart Addicts the wave, Chart Addicts the mission. All right.